Okay, Ron, so we have baby water turtles. If I want to buy a water turtle, what are the things that we need to create the perfect habitat?
Baby water turtles are a very enjoyable pet. They have personality, and people really have a good time with them, especially children. The first thing we would need is a fair-sized aquarium, like a 20-gallon. We use a 20-gallon long here because it has more horizontal as opposed to a shorter tank that's higher. We wouldn't want that. We want to utilize the horizontal space. Once we have the water in, and the water depth is very important, if we're using an internal filter or a turtle filter, we want the water about that high, maybe 1.5 inches above the filter, or it'll be sucking in air along with the water. And the filter should always be on one end. Let's place the filter right in there and begin with that.
Okay. What do I need to know about?
All the way on this end. We'll use the suction cups that come with it.
Okay.
You can hear the air coming out, and that's good. We want the air out, and then the filter will work properly. Let's put a background on now. That'll offer more security for our baby turtles. It's always good to start with a baby turtle.
This is a nice, looks like a pond scene. What's the benefit of the background for the turtles?
It provides security. They don't feel like they're on display in all glass. They feel like perhaps they really are out in the woods or out in the jungle or out in the pond or lake. So this is a good thing to start with. The next thing we want to do is to put a plastic plant or several plastic plants.
Okay.
You can either hang one with a suction cup on the back, or you can just go ahead and float these.
Why not real plants?
Real plants tend to die unless they have an extremely high light level and they contaminate the tank. Get plastic that's really solid. This imitates the African water lettuce, which is prevalent all over the world. It's also a good food for turtles, but not the plastic, of course. But they'll feel right at home when they see these plants floating around.
Those are very inexpensive, too. I see them in all the pet stores.
I think the next thing that we're going to do is set up a place for the turtle to come out of the water. If the turtle stays in the water all the time, he's going to get sick. When we see them in the wild, they're up on a rock or on a log, warming themselves in the morning or early afternoon. And you notice their arms and legs are outstretched. They have special glands where they make vitamin D3. So this is going to help us to provide the place for them to come out and get their vitamin D3.
And is a certain type of rock better than others?
Yes, the part they climb on, we'd like to use a piece of slate because it's much harder. Now notice we left plenty of room for the baby turtles to swim around without getting trapped. There's also a big space under here where they can swim through without being trapped. And we did not put this rock all the way on the end where it could accidentally slip off. We made it nice and solid, gave them plenty of room to come out of the water, and gave them all their safety space. And this will also help the water current to go around, and it's going to make things work out very well for the baby turtle.
So although they're water turtles, they still need to get out of the water to warm themselves.
Yes, that's very important. They sleep underwater at night, and they just lift their head up to breathe. Baby turtles, as well as most turtles, like to live in the shallows of a canal or a pond or a stream or a river or a lake. And that's where they do most of their feeding.
Is tap water fine for baby turtles?
Tap water can be used, but you have to buy a product at your pet store or your aquarium store that neutralizes or binds chlorine and chloramines and ammonia. This is helpful. It's very, very simple to put it in the water, mix it around, and then you add it to the water, and the water is taken care of immediately. There's one other way the turtles can also come out of the water. Well, I'm not going to put it in now because it would be too crowded. But if you choose not to use the rocks, you can buy a piece of cork. It's very highly floatable. This is cork from Portugal, from the cork tree. You can buy it at a garden center or at some pet shops. The turtles love it. It's got striations all through it. It's got character that makes them busy walking because of the different shapes on it. And also, it's easy for them to get their little toenails in so they can climb. And this will gently float around, and they will climb on it and have a good time.
What's that other one over there?
This is a raft. And this is interesting because we can suction cup this onto the side, and if your water level gets a little higher or a little lower, the raft floats. It's highly floatable. And it goes up and down, and the turtles enjoy it. It's easily washable, and notice it's got a rough surface, so they have to lift their body and use their muscles. Exercise is very important for a little turtle. They need to be able to swim. They need to be able to interact with one another.